Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to get started with Amazon Elastic Container Service using Fargate. So here we will be creating an Amazon ECS sample app and where we are going to deploy by using Fargate to create and configure the task definition, service and cluster. So before we dive into the demo, let's see what is a Docker. So Docker is actually a tool, make it easier to create, deploy and run application by using containers. So the container will allow a developer to package the application with all the parts it needs, such as libraries and other dependencies and deploy it as a one package. By doing so, the application will run on any other Linux machine, regardless of any customized settings that machine might have that could differ from the machine used for writing and testing the code. Now let's see what is Amazon ECS. It's Amazon ECS. Actually, it will be managing the containers and allow developers to run the applications in the cloud without having to configure an environment for the code to run in. And it also enables developers with the AWS account to deploy and manage scalable applications that run on a group of servers that is called as a clusters through API calls and task definitions. And Amazon ECS enables developers to easily use Docker container for a range of activities like from hosting a simple website to running complex distributed microservices that require thousands of containers. So these things, it can be easily achieved from the Amazon ECS. Now, in this demo, what we are going to see is we will be using a sample application to get started with Amazon ECS, and we are going to deploy in Fargate. And once that is done, we will be accessing the ECS sample app via Elastic Network Interface public IP address. Now we will go into the demo. I have already logged into the AWS console. Now I am going for Elastic Container. So this will be the starting page of the Amazon Elastic Container Service. So as we already discussed, Amazon ECS makes it easy to deploy, manage, and scale Docker containers, running application services and batch processes. And Amazon ECS places containers across your cluster based on the resource needs, and it is also integrated with other AWS services like Elastic Load Balancing, security groups, EBS volumes, and IAM roles. And also, now what you are going to see is how to get started with the Amazon ECS using Fargate. So we can easily host our containers on a serverless infrastructure that is managed by Amazon ECS by launching our services, our tasks on AWS Fargate. So to get started, I am just clicking on clusters. Here you can see two options. One is create cluster and get started. In create cluster, there will be we can do customized settings and all those things. If I click on get started, there will be having some sample web applications. So from there, deploy an application. So when I give get started, so in this region, it will be coming and kind of a wizard. So it will be guiding us like for each process, what are all the things we need to give, and also we will have a better explanation as well. If you are going to use the first time, then I will say to get started, to use the get started so that you will understand each and every steps. Now we will get started by giving container definition, and also here this is a diagram that it will be depict how they are related. So basically the outer layer is a cluster and inside the cluster we have a service, and inside the service we have a task definition, and inside the task definition we have container definition. So we will be configuring in reverse order. So first we will be configuring container definition. So here what we will be doing is we will be choosing an image for our container to get started. Right here you can see three images: sample web app that is running in the image HTTPD 2.4, and engines and Tomcat, and also we can use custom as well. If I am going to use custom, I can give any other Docker repository likewise. So for now, I am going to give sample app. So once I have selected the image, next thing is the task definition. So task definition, what it will be doing? So it is a kind of a blueprint of our application and describes one or more containers through attributes. So some attributes are configured at the task levels, but most of them are configured per container level. So here you can see the task definition name and the network mode and task execution role and the compatibility. As I said, we are going to get started with the AWS Fargate. And the task, how much memory it has been allocated, and task CPU. If I want to change the task definition name, or if I want to change the memory or CPU, I can easily click on edit and I can easily change it like 0.5 to 1 GB or 2 GB, and CPU also I can easily change it. Next, we will click on next, and then if you see, the next one is like defining our service. So what this service will do, it will allows you to run and maintain a specified number of simultaneous instance task definition in an ECS cluster. So here the number is 1, and also now here you can see the load balancer type we have given as none. If it is going to be a multiple application is going to be running, so in that case I can use the application load balancer to manage my traffic. So I am currently giving as none. And now we are going to configure our cluster. So the infrastructure in a Fargate cluster is fully managed by AWS. Nothing from our end that needs to be managed. So our containers are running like without managing and configuring the individual Amazon EC2 instances. Our containers will be running without any issues. And also, if you want to know more about the difference between AWS Fargate and standard ECS cluster, you can refer the documentation. And now I can give the cluster name. Once I have given the cluster name, I can give on next. Now here you can see all the things has been configured, and also you can review like what are all the given. We can verify it. Now I am going to click on create. So it will take some couple of minutes to get it prepared. Now let's wait for some time. So once this has been created, we will be the view service will be enabled after service creation. After that, we will see what all the things has been configured and how we can access the sample app service. So almost 7 of 9 has been completed. Here you can see what are all the resources are getting created for here. So cluster, task definition, service, and the log group, and VPC, subnet, and the security group. Now you can see the view service has been enabled, and also all the 9 of 9 has been completed. Now we click on view service. So now here you can see the pending count is 1, and it should be come as the running count should be 1. Why? Because if you see in the task, I think, yeah, here you see it, right? The last state is in pending. So it should be coming as a provisioning or running stage. So it is still under in creation process. As we haven't given no load balancer, it is coming as a no load balancer, and we will have a public IP has been aligned to allocated to this particular thing, to the elastic network interface. And also here you can see the task. So the task is been running, and also here also you can see now the pending count became 0 and the running count become 1. And also here you can see the events. So what are all the events have been happened for this Amazon ECS service. So here you can see it, right? It has started one task and the deployment has been completed. Now it has our web app service has reached a steady state. So as we have given 1, right? So there is no auto scaling resources, we have configured it. And the deployment also, here you can see the deployment. The status is primary, and the desired count and the running count is 1. And if I want to create any pipeline, that is also possible. From here we can choose it. And these are all the metrics of ECS, like CPU utilization, memory utilization. And if you want to tag this particular resource, we can do the tagging as well. And to see the logs, so you can see each and every logs from here. Now we will go into the task definition. So here you can see the container definition. Container definition is the sense. So you can see this is the command when we are going to run the public IP, right? In the web page. So it will be showing like Amazon ECS sample app, and your application is now running. Likewise, this will be coming out. This is the HTML web content that is been in the HTTPD. So these are all the attributes. Now, if I go to the clusters, okay, and now I'm going to click on task, and if I click on this particular task, it will show all the details, and here you can see the ENI ID. Okay, so when I click on this ENI ID, it will go into the EC2 console where I can get the public IP of this to access my AWS sample app. So when I click on here, here you can see the public IP. This public IP address, you can put it in a web page, so you will get a sample web app application running successfully. So by this we can, from this demo, you can understand like how we can create the task definition and service and cluster using Fargate, and also we can we have tested the Amazon ECS sample app as well. Thanks for watching the video.